If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. You don't have to have hair to be better than you previously were. It's all the other areas that are letting you down, and losing your hair just exposed that. Because like I said, there's certain guys that with hair, they're really good looking, their life's great, they're getting girls, everyone's like, oh, this guy's killing it. You take the hair away and they're a worse version of themselves, suddenly their lack of facial exercises, their lack of orthotropics, they're sitting on their phone all day like this and getting like just developing like a weak jawline. All of that is massively exposed, or being out of shape. All of that is massively exposed when you take the hair off, because you do age like 5-6 years overnight. You shave all your hair off tomorrow, you're gonna look 5-6 years older, okay? So looking older, plus the negative features, plus being out of shape, plus being skinny, it's like when you're skinny, it's like, oh, that guy's. Sorry, when you're skinny with hair and you're young, it's like, oh, he's a handsome skinny type. When you're bold and skinny, it's like, oh, he's bold and skinny. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Now in this video I'm going to talk about why going bald ruins your life, okay? Now it's a little bit of a trick, it's a little bit of a play on the title, okay? It's just, let's get a lot of guys in and let me explain, okay? This is what I love about YouTube. I can talk for like 20-30 minutes, I can really go in depth and break things down, okay? For a lot of guys, okay, going bald is the worst thing that can ever happen. The reason this is on my mind today is because a friend of mine is going through it right now. He's going through what I went through a couple of years ago, okay? Now, the reason it completely ruins your life is because I had a theory like years ago. I used to look at guys, when I first went bald, I used to look at like, let's say a guy is considered good looking, he's getting a lot of women. I'd kind of like look at him and picture what he'd look like bald, and I'd be like, God, he'd look awful. Like there's certain guys they don't, like their hair is really backing them up. Like without hair, they just wouldn't look good. Like we all know somebody like that. Maybe they've just got like irregular features but great hair. Who's that kid from TikTok? Bryce Hall. He's like that, okay? When that guy punched him, what was his, I can't remember their name, Mahum or something, Makhum. When he punched him and his hair like flew back and everyone was like, oh, that guy's actually really ugly. Well, yeah, like that's the case for most people, okay? But their hair is actually propping them up. And here's why most guys' lives are ruined when they lose hair, okay? Is because, let's just say this is you as a package. Okay, this is you currently as a package with hair. This is you at full potential. This is all of you, okay? Hair. Let's take it away, let's throw it away. What are you now? Well, you're worse, okay? Let's reverse that, okay? Let's go back to the normal squared you, okay? It's you as a package. 2 inches off your penis. Throw it away. What are you now? Well, you're worse. Okay, guys? And this is what people seem to forget. It's like, of course you're going to look worse. Like, it's a logical fallacy, okay? If you take something away that is considered beautiful, like, if you shaved my eyebrows off right now, I would look like a weirdo, okay? I'd probably look a lot worse. When you take something away from someone, they're obviously going to be worse than they were before. Now, it's a logical fallacy because people are always associated with, okay, well, being bald makes you worse than you were before and you get no women. Being bold is the reason that I'm not getting women. Being bold is the reason that I'm not succeeding in life. Being bold is the reason for my low confidence. They isolate the whole being bold thing. Whereas in reality, the problem is actually you as a holistic package. Because there's plenty of bold guys in the world who are good looking, who are successful, who are navigating life really well. They're able to get women. They're able to date. Like Jason Statham gets voted like the sexiest man alive every like 3 years. When he was younger, he was getting that all the time. Like most women would still dream to be with him. The Rock, a lot of women love Vin Diesel. Like it's not, it's not being bold that's the problem. It's everything else that comes with it. And here's the biggest issue for guys is that they have that package that is them, the hair gets taken away, and they're just left with a version of themselves, which is now missing one of the crucial pieces to beauty that makes you look good. But then you have to remember they haven't improved on anything else. okay? So if that guy was to, a year before he goes bald or starts to see that he's going bald or worries about his hair, if he was to get down to 10% body fat, we're like, let's say, start a business or whatever, or get a promotion at work, and now he's bringing in 100k per year or something like that. He buys some assets, he's in fantastic shape, 10% body fat, does some facial exercises, really works on his jawline, etc., with orthotropics, and like I said before, muscle facial exercises, because muscles influence bones. It would take longer than a year to look good, but let's just assume he does that and it makes him look amazing. Let's assume that he's learnt a couple languages, grown in confidence, just basically he's become better overall. Well, when he loses his hair, it's probably not going to affect him too much because he's become a better person. And this is the problem. Guys lose that one piece, they take the hair out, well, you're worse. Of course you are. Like, of course you're going to be worse. If I took your hair away, you're going to be worse. If I took 2 inches off your height, yeah, you're probably going to be a little bit worse. If I took 2 inches off your penis, you're going to be a little bit worse because you're not as good as you used to be. Okay, but for guys who have just lost their hair and they're now a bold version of them, and they're like, I don't get women, I feel low on confidence, I feel like shit. Look, go to the gym, get absolutely fucking jacked, and then strip it all away in the correct manner and get down to like 10% body fat, okay? Because at 10% body fat is when guys are at their peak in terms of looks. Like women, you can be 20 to 30%, whatever. Most men are sitting like 18 to 21. You don't know what you truly look like until you get that down to like 10% body fat, okay? When you're really lean. Once you get, some added muscle on your frame and you strip that down to 10% body fat, you're going to look a lot better, okay? The bald isn't going to look too different then, okay? And then you get, let's say you're dressing better. Let's say you become successful in whatever you're doing, okay? You might be an investor, you might be a property rental kind of person, you might be a 9-to-5 type of guy who gets promoted, gets a really good job, that's on you. You might start a business, make a ton of money, whatever your kind of game is. You make a lot of money, you get some decent assets to your name, you have a really nice, let's say, really nice house with like an open terrace with a beautiful view or something, like, like an apartment in the city like that, and it just catches the eye, and any woman you take back or whatever is just like, wow, or you host a party, oh, whose house is this? These things just make you a better individual. Then you're going to work on yourself, etc. Like you start tweaking little things, like you've got terrible skin, you improve it. You have, like, for example, I spoke to a guy the other day, he said that he, like, whatever he eats, his face gets puffy. Like, he can lose body fat, but every time he eats, he looks puffy. His buccinators get puffy. But he was like, what's the problem? I was like, well, what food are you eating? Is it really salty? Yeah, it is. I was like, well, it's carby, because he was Indian, and it's salty. You've got too much water retention. Let's figure out a way to lower that and then make yourself look better. Okay, so once you tick all these boxes and you start improving in 400 areas, the loss of one area up here, being bald, doesn't mean too much, okay? Like, if I compare me with hair 5 years ago compared to me now wins 100%. Bald me is 10 times better than I used to be, okay, with hair. I was just some skinny, broke little kid, thought he had all the answers, was a bit cocky and arrogant, didn't really know, wasting time in the gym by just doing the same things every single week, like didn't look like a man, just wasn't mature, didn't have anything in place. Like me now would batter that guy, okay, in every department. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just every single department, okay? But at that time when I lost the hair, I was a worse version of myself because I hadn't improved in any other area, but I didn't have hair. Okay, so it ruins your life because you are a worse version than you currently are. Well, now it's up to you. Instead of sitting there moaning and crying and pissing, in the wind about it and being like, oh, woe is me, my life's over, my life's ruined, whatever, I'm bald, I'm never going to recover from this. Realize that the guy you were before was a fuckface, okay? To put it into simple terms, you were a fuckface. Like, if you lose your hair and your whole world falls apart, then you weren't exactly somebody to be proud of, okay? You didn't exactly have things in place that you were proud of. I was in that scenario. Lost my hair. Oh no, I was the good looking guy. What am I now? I have no identity. When you go back to the drawing board and you start putting fucking what I call points on the board, you start gaining momentum, you start feeling better about yourself. The man that you then become doesn't need hair. Okay, doesn't it? Like, I don't need hair now. You know, in September I've been offered SMP where they're going to just dot it in. I like having shaved hair. I think I still think I look better with hair. I still think my life would be better with hair, but I don't need it. I've lived for like 5 years with the shaved head. I've loved it. I've enjoyed it. I've been offered a treatment which looks fantastic, and I'm not going to be paying for it. Yeah, dot away, like make it look great, okay? And it'll actually be easier because at the moment I'm shaving all the time. If I've just got to buzz it at like a grade 1 all over, that's or 0.5, that's a lot easier for me. It makes my life quicker. It's just simpler, okay? It takes the piss when you've got to razor everything off for ages and whatever, everything that comes with it. Really gets on my nerves doing that like every 2-3 days, okay? But what I'm saying is you don't have to have all this. You don't have to have hair to be happy. You don't have to have hair to be better than you previously were. It's all the other areas that are letting you down, and losing your hair just exposed that. Because like I said, there's certain guys that with hair, they're really good looking, their life's great, they're getting girls, everyone's like, oh, this guy's killing it. You take the hair away and they're a worse version of themselves. Suddenly their lack of facial exercises, their lack of orthotropics, they're sitting on their phone all day like this and getting like just developing like a weak jawline. All of that is massively exposed, you know, or being out of shape. All of that is massively exposed when you take the hair off, because you do age like 5-6 years overnight. You know, you shave all your hair off tomorrow, you're gonna look 5-6 years older, okay? So looking older plus the negative features, plus being out of shape, plus being skinny, you know, it's like when you're skinny, it's like, oh, that guy's sorry. When you're skinny with hair and you're young, it's like, oh, he's a handsome skinny type. When you're bold and skinny, it's like, oh, he's bold and skinny. Like it doesn't. Like it double negatives it. It kind of makes it doubly as bad, which is a weird way to look at it. And that's what a lot of guys do. They lose their hair. Everything else gets exposed to actually being a negative, which was dressed up before by having really nice youthful hair. And they panic and they go, it's the hair. The hair's the problem. I've got to have hair, otherwise my life is shit. It's all the other areas. And you have to work on the other areas, otherwise you're never going to learn. Because if you immediately went and got a hair transplant, that's why I've waited like 5 years to get anything done. I've grown in confidence. I've learned to accept it. I now don't give a shit. So if somebody hasn't seen me in 5 years, they're like, oh my God, you're bald now. I'm like, yeah, shaved it all off. Couldn't care less. Love it. I enjoy it. I've built up that natural confidence. But if you were to lose your hair and immediately go hair transplant and do something about it, you're just papering the cracks, okay? You're not actually addressing the real problem, which is you. You're not, number one, your confidence levels, because you're not confident in yourself to be like, okay, is what it is, I can move on. But number two, you're not papering those cracks like you're not earning enough. You're not proud of who you are, otherwise bald wouldn't really matter. You're not proud of the assets you've got, or at least just, you know, the assets that you've got in place. You're not proud of what you're earning or something like that. You're not proud of the body that you have. You're not proud of your body fat percentage. You know, like there's probably 60 other areas that you could improve, which would just prop everything else up, and then the hair would be meaningless. Like I can tell you now, without being arrogant or cocky or whatever, I'm a 28-year-old guy, I'm bold, whatever. I can attract 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old women with ease, okay? And they're beautiful as well. They're not ugly women. Like, I hate it when you get pickup artists that are like, I get 50 girls a week, and they're all like 2s out of 10. Okay, all of these girls are like 7s and 8s out of 10. And that's what I'm saying. Those are with ease. Like, they come to me. It's not that hard to do, okay? It's really not that hard to do. And what guys need to do is embrace being bold. Okay, grab the razor, shave it off, embrace it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be shit, okay? Embrace that. Grow with the confidence, work on every other area, and use being bold as motivation to work on those areas. You'll never be more motivated in the gym than when you're bold, because you'll be like, fuck, I need to compensate. Like I was having a conversation with someone earlier. On next weekend, I'm going back to London. I'm going to have a weekend with friends I used to work with. And we're all going to go out and whatever, like drink and go to nightclubs. I'm not going to drink. And I was having a discussion with a friend saying that, you know, when somebody's like young and they have like a full head of hair, you say, do you want to go out for a drink? They're like, yeah, sure. They don't see a problem with it. When you're like a bold guy who does look 5 years older than he actually is already, you're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't drink. Because if I gain that extra little bit of puffiness or body fat, it throws me well out of sync. Like I need to be I need to be in the gym. I need to be working on myself. I actually have to overcompensate for obviously what's going on up here. I need to always look good. I need to work on myself. Like your brain's got into that mode where it's like, okay, we actually have to work for this rather than it being given to us like some young 18-year-old lad with a fresh head of hair, whatever, looks naturally handsome. Yeah, he's got no assets and he's skinny, whatever, but this is like propping him up. Like he can attract a 6 out of 10. This is propping him up. He's got a youthful appearance, you know. A lot of 18, 19-year-old women, that's all they want. It's just guy with a nice full head of hair, you know, that sort of shit. It changes over time. But that's what I'm saying, is like they become very reliant on it. And once like somebody like me, like we're going on this night out, I'm like, I'm not going to drink because I've got other things I need to focus on. Not I want to, but I kind of need to. Otherwise, if I drink and I look a bit puffy and I have water retention and I gain 1 or 2% body fat, won't happen on, you know, one session, but I'm saying over a duration. Yeah, I look like shit. You guys with a full head of hair who still look like you're 21, yeah, you can get away with it. But then what happens is over time, the person like myself who's making those sacrifices ends up, you know, creating a much bigger gap, like ends up going to new heights because they're constantly working on themselves. They're constantly aware of things like this. They're constantly trying to improve in all areas. Whereas the guy on the left is just like, does my hair look good? Yeah, I'll just gel this up. Right, I'm ready to go. And it works up to a certain point. And then when this goes for them, they might be like 35, 40 years old and they're going, fuck, all other areas of my life are messed up. Like I haven't been working on myself. I've been so reliant on this. Now that this is gone, being bold has ruined my life. And the cycle for them continues again, okay? But being bold doesn't ruin your life. Your life is already ruined. Your hair is saving you, okay? Your hair is propping you up. Your job now is go back to the drawing board, put some work in, become more of a holistic man, and actually fill the gaps, okay? Fill the gaps. Like, hair isn't everything. You get rid of your hair, you improve everything else by fucking 1,000 points. Hair isn't going to matter, okay, guys? If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.